Tonight at 6, the death toll keeps rising after the flash floods in Texas. More than 80 have been killed, dozens are still missing, many of them children. The force of the water was extraordinary. This time-lapse shows just how fast it rose. This happened in just 5 minutes.
At least 82 people are now known to have died in catastrophic flooding in Texas. Officials say that that number is sure to rise, with dozens, including children who are at a summer camp, still missing. The search is focused along Guadalupe River, which on Friday rose 8 metres in less than an hour, sweeping through Camp Mystic, where they're now mourning the loss of 27 lives. Layla Hayes has the latest.
Floodwater surges past buildings in Georgetown, Texas. Thankfully, no customers were in this beauty salon when the river burst its banks on Friday. 3 days on, rescuers continue to search for survivors, but hope is fading, and many of those missing are children.
I mean, there's just kids, the parents deserve to know what happened to them. And my girlfriend's sister is 9 years old, and that's pretty much how old these girls were.
New footage has emerged showing how the tragedy unfolded as the Guadalupe River rose 8 metres in just 45 minutes, leaving many struggling to escape.
And there was screaming. There was so much screaming. It's just started banging on doors, getting people out, and people were trying to get their belongings, and we're like, there's no time, you need to go.
President Trump has said he's now praying for Texas and hoping to visit the state on Friday.
You look at that what a situation that all is, and that was really the Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. I would just say this is a 100-year catastrophe, and it's just so horrible to watch.
There are now many questions about the lack of warnings before the flash floods, as Texas braces itself for yet more rain. Layla Hayes, ITV News.
4 days after the flash floods that hit Texas, rescuers are still searching for dozens of people who are missing. More than 80 people are now known to have died. 27 of them were children and staff at a girls' summer camp. Among them, 2 8-year-olds, Renee Smajstrela and Sarah Marsh. Camp Mystic, where they were staying, was here by the Guadalupe River when it burst its banks at about 8 a.m. on Friday morning. And this is another river to the north. Look at how fast those floodwaters have moved within minutes. River levels are normally here. Now, this was 8 a.m. on Friday. By about 11 o'clock in the morning, it had gone from just under 10 feet to more than 29 feet. And it is not over yet. Texas is being warned of more storms in the next 24 to 48 hours. Our Chief North America correspondent, Gary O'Donoghue, is in Texas for us tonight. Gary.
Sophie, amid the tragedy, the political pressure is also ramping up in terms of whether there was enough warning, enough forecasting, whether cuts to the whole process of weather forecasting had something to do with these children and these adults losing their lives. Meanwhile, here in Texas itself, the search continues. The power of the flood took everyone by surprise, sweeping everything before it in this deluge of water. The rescuers continue to work in challenging conditions. They are still evacuating people with local rivers swollen and new flood warnings coming all the time. And now the girls' summer camp that bore the brunt of the flood on the Guadalupe River has confirmed what everyone feared. In a statement, it said that 27 of its campers and counsellors were lost to the waters. They said their hearts were broken as they and their families endure this unimaginable tragedy. In the town of Kerrville, downstream from the camp, residents have spoken about the harrowing moment the water arrived in a local RV park. Jane Hatfield watched one child being swept away.
I was about to jump in and my husband had to hold me back. He said, "You're going to go too, and there's nothing you can do if you jump in." I didn't know how I was going to live with that. And thankfully, by the end of the day yesterday, I saw his face online and he had been rescued.
State and local officials say they will continue the search until everyone is found. But they're also facing significant questions about whether there were sufficient warning systems in place for such a catastrophic event as this. One local resident has already set up a petition calling for flood sirens to be installed in Kerr County, as they have in some neighbouring areas.
To have camps, to have RV camps, to have houses that close to a river and it flood like that, I don't understand why Kerrville and Kerr County hadn't invested in flood sirens.
There were a number of emergency alerts sent to local residents' phones in the hours before the flood by the National Weather Service, most of them though coming in the middle of the night. But questions still remain about preparedness.
All of us would want to prevent this horrific loss of life, but I think just immediately trying to use it for either side to attack their political opponents, I think that's cynical and not the right approach, particularly at a time when we're dealing with a crisis and we're dealing with grief.
The rivers in the hill country can be wildly unpredictable. This CCTV, sped up, demonstrates how quickly the Yano River overflowed. Videos taken from the other side of the river show just how quickly the water came at them. This whole area is prone to sudden flash floods. These past days show how tragic and deadly the consequences can be. And of course there still are some of those girls from Camp Mystic missing, along with one of their counsellors, and people are frantically searching them. But Sophie, it's an area of about 100 kilometres, 30 miles in length that they're trying to comb through the river and the banks. And while the flash flood warnings continue to come, that process becomes even harder.
Gary O'Donoghue with the latest there. Thank you.